Welcome to another great episode. We got another great guest, Samantha Nguyen, because she's a winner.
Hi.
Right? Thank you for coming on. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into this business.
Well, let's see. I am a mom with 3 kids. I have 2 boys and 1 little girl. What got me into this business? Actually, I believe that I just like real estate and I was just tired of corporate. And once I got my real estate license and I just did my first deal and I just knew it was my calling.
Okay.
The more I kept working at it, I realized that real estate is for me. There's certain things that you do in life and know your career, but when it comes to real estate, I think that was my calling, my purpose. Just because growing up and my background and whatnot, you know, that's the reason why I think that anybody can purchase and buy a home, but having that home, that house, something I maybe lacked growing up, and I have no shame because that's who I am, but to know that I could fulfill other people's dreams. It doesn't matter if it's investment or first time buying a home, but it's just knowing that I was part of something for someone, building a home foundation, I guess. I think that mends me, myself, psychologically. I don't know.
I like that. I appreciate that.
So I think that the most important thing is whatever you do in life, in your job, you have to have purpose. And I already know what my purpose is. It's not, everybody's out to go to work, make a living. And I know that that's what we're all here for, right? But along the way, what you do, you have to have purpose in what you're doing. And having integrity in what you do, that will always make you strive and be successful.
I appreciate that. How long have you been in the industry?
I believe that I've been in real estate roughly around 16 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you didn't have that stability growing up, and off camera you mentioned you came from Laos, correct?
Yes, I actually came to America when I was about 4 years old. Okay. I was born and raised in Laos, and we refugeed over to Thailand. And my family got sponsored from a church, and it's very unheard of, but we got sponsored, and it's my mom, my dad, my grandpa, and 3 of my other siblings.
Wow.
And normally when you're in a refugee camp like that and you get sponsored to come to America, either just 1 or 2 family members get to come. And we were so blessed, my whole family were able to come here to America. So, and then when we got here, of course, things are different.
Right.
Things are totally different. My parents are probably 20 years apart, and the age and the new country and the new culture, my parents didn't really last long. You know, they made it only till I was about 11, 12 years old, I believe. Yeah, and it was tough for them, and they did the best they could. Right. And as a young child in America, that's a parent's responsibility, but as a parent, they do whatever they can, and they're thinking like it's our country. Oh, wow, you're grown, you can walk, talk, and you're good by yourself, you know? But it's not, you know? And we've learned to work for everything. And when you learn to work for everything that you have, you value. And when you value everything that you have, you tend to realize that you're blessed for the things that you have.
I appreciate that. And my wife sent me a text earlier because I'm struggling with our little one. She wants everything, and she's complaining like, you know, we feel like we spoil her. But I'm like, but with the older kids, we were complaining that we couldn't spoil them. So, you know, but she's wondering how do we balance that? And I love what you just said. It's help, you know, working at that.
Yeah, and
achieving that for yourself.
Yeah, and if you can provide for your child and do whatever you can for your child, that's fine. It's not spoiling. It's just giving the child what the child feels and your child needs at the time, right? But you just have to have structure and discipline.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all it is. Yes.
So do you recall much when you first got here? Do you remember much of that?
I do.
Okay. What was that for you? What was that like for you?
It was different. It was different. I see all these American kids. They're beautiful, blonde, blue eyes, gorgeous, and you know, you know, for me, it's just totally different. And I didn't speak the language at all. When you think about being, you know, dropped somewhere and you don't know anything, I think that was me, and I think it was kindergarten. And the first time I went into, it was kindergarten. I remember specifically because my parents never did preschool. I don't know why. And I went straight to kindergarten without English.
Right.
And I actually peed in my pants. I cried. Man. It's because I was afraid, you know.
Was it what the people were treating you, or just what your perceptions were?
No, it was just because I felt insecure because I didn't know the language. Okay. I think that's what it is. I think anything, what we do, if you're confident and you're secure in what you do, you can succeed at it. But when you feel insecure, that's when you feel like you want to draw back. And that's me too sometimes. You know, if I don't know anything, I'm not going to claim that I know it. You know, you're going to hear it from me that I don't know it. And I humbly ask you to respect that. I will figure it out and try to find a solution or whatever it is that I can. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think, that little girl who, that first day you went through that experience, but here I'm speaking to you, and I wouldn't have known that you weren't here from the beginning. So how did you overcome that? What was that?
There was a lot of challenges and everything, because my culture too, as an older girl in the family, I was a leader. So I think that in my family, the son is the king, so my brother was the king, I believe. And you know what? His name is Son. Okay. So Son is the king, yes. And I was the oldest girl, so I did everything. I was the leader of the family. While my parents had to work from, I believe, 9 in the morning till 10 at night, like in a manufacturing place. And I had to be at home taking care of everybody, and here I was only 5. You know, you would think. Right. But from that point on, I just know that my parents had brought me to a Buddhist temple. Mm-hmm. I was pretty much raised in a Buddhist temple. I speak fluent Vietnamese, and I'm blessed for that, because you know, a lot of people grew up here and doesn't speak the language. But then you can't say that my parents don't speak English that well. So in hindsight, that's probably where, of course, I keep my language.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And in the past, I've always known that I am blessed to speak 2 languages. If I can help anyone in the real estate business, even speaking the 2 languages, I try to do that for them. But then I don't play the card that I don't know English. Right. If anybody's going to ask me to go help interpret, and they're going to tell me that I don't speak English, and you know you did something bad, and you're saying you don't speak English card, that does not fly with me. Work. Yeah, I really have integrity in what I do. Sometimes in life, it's not about money. It's not about getting ahead. It's, you know, it's the natural thing.
Right,
you know,
just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about this little girl, you know, helping out and doing whatever you need to. Where was your light at? What inspired you? Who inspired you? Where did that come from?
What inspired me and who inspired me? I really wouldn't know until probably roughly about maybe 14 is who. And I said Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I mean.
So, tell me about that.
I love him so much, you know. And my license plate has number 23. Okay. Okay. It's the drive. It's the drive of not wanting to fail. It's the persistent, it's about hard working, it's about dedication. It's something that you can achieve for yourself. Nobody could achieve it for you. It's not about winning. It's about having that grit, that grit in you of what you want to do to make yourself grow. And I'm not saying grow financially, it's just grow for yourself. At the end of the day, when you leave here off on earth, you know, what have you done to accomplish, that you felt good about, and that's the way I think, yeah.
So if I were to ask your clients, mm-hmm. what are something they say that they love most about you, or what you do for them?
I think that I do go out of my way. Okay. Just because we're done working a transaction or a deal, it's lifelong friends, okay. Lifelong people. I have no intentions behind my intentions. Okay. Anytime if anybody calls me for anything, if it's real estate, great. If it's not a problem either. I'm here, Okay. If it's a real estate questions and that's all it is, then I'm here, I don't think that, my clients have anything negative I can see. But yeah, no, I think that I'm very blessed. I think everybody that crossed my path was all for a reason. Whoever worked with me in the past was all for a reason. And you know, I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for the people that did give me those opportunities. Sometimes I come in and, you know, I click with one partner and the other partner I don't click. But it's just allowing them to know that I'm here professionally and whatever that I can do to assist both of you at the end of the day in your goal. And that's what we're here for as realtors. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of these iBuyers and whatnot, it's great. You can go online and purchase and buy and do whatever you want, but as a realtor, what do you bring to the plate? It's service.
Okay. Okay.
People are losing service, good quality service. And I think that's where I stand as an agent. Anybody can go anywhere, but where I stand, I work, I do for my clients with integrity and honesty and with good service. I think that comes first. My clients come first, not me, you know. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm always, I move around the country a lot. I got lots of people that I love everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with, what do you do to stay in front of your folks and
what
let them know you love them still?
What do I do? I do a lot of things. I mean, I do a lot of things. I network, you know, and it's not only about networking. Sometimes make that time for your friends, make time for the clients that became your friends, and make time for the friends that you do have in your life. You know, I mean, it's not about work for me all the time. It just comes to me naturally. If it's out there, you know, everybody knows that I do real estate. If they love and they respect what I do, then they honestly will give me a call, you know. I believe in I'm not saying you don't chase or work for your business. You do. You have to have hard work. Just like nowadays, it's so hard to go find inventory, hard to find houses. But you know what? My colleague, my girlfriend, Norma Malay, we end up door knocking this morning before I handed over myself to you. Okay. We went to a neighborhood. We know that a client needs a house in that neighborhood. We went and door knocked. We don't care. We have no shame. What kind of grit do you have to provide for your client is the kind of grit that me and my girlfriend have for our clients. You know, it's just do what you need to do, you know, to stay out there, you know, is what I say, right?
Awesome. Okay. So do you have a specialty that you focus on in the business, or you chase any particular type of clients that you love?
I really don't. I believe in clients, they interview agents to work for them as much as I interview my clients to work with me.
I like it.
As much as I would love to have amazing deals, right?
Right.
If all these deals came through my door and then flourish me with everything that needs to be flourished, but asking me to not cross some T's, not dot some I's, and do something that's going to jeopardize my career ethically, you know, then I have to know that, see your way out.
Right. No one to say no.
Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Right. I mean, I'm willing to say it too, not to hurt them, but I respect that they came to me and asked me for help and whatnot, but those are the things I will not tolerate and will not do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you consider yourself adventurous?
Adventurous, I think so.
Okay.
I love to go on drives and hikes by myself. Like today I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I really wanted to just get in my car and drive, but then I knew that I had to go to the gym, so I'm like, I can't do that because I'm going to miss the gym. But yes, I think I am. If I can be spontaneous and do anything, I probably would, you know.
Okay. What's on your bucket list, the craziest thing you think you're going to do before you check out?
I really want to travel.
Okay.
I really want to travel. And my bucket list, I believe that it's very doable. It's just a matter of, I have 3 kids, and I don't know, I'm fertile every 9 years, so my oldest is 26,
wow,
20, and then 19, so I've been raising kids, dang it, all my life, kinda, right?
Yes.
So part of me is like, can't wait till the little one is 21, no, I'm kidding. But truly, I would love to travel, and I would love to be able to have an organization or do something that's meaningful for underprivileged children that didn't ask to be here, but unfortunately they are here and they're not given a chance. And that's something that I would love to do, you know. And I know that in my country, there's a lot in Laos, you know, when you're handicapped, when you're whatnot, and there's just nothing to provide to help them. And that's something I would love to do. And I see it, and I would love to go. I would love to go. That's maybe a dream of mine.
Okay.
Though I think that if I ever stood myself in the orphanage and I see all those kids, I probably would cry. I don't know, I want to take them all home. You know, like,
right.
That's where my soul would be, probably.
I love stuff like that. I tell you, it can be done. Just do it. Don't wait till the kids are
No,
12.
I'm not gonna wait. I mean, the only thing is it takes a lot of time and effort in traveling. It's a 30-hour flight or 27-hour flight, and it's when I do anything, I just want to make sure I'm organized. I get that all. I don't want to go on a fly, and then when I go there and I can't help, if I feel strain, that's gonna be hard on me. And same with anything I do in my life, right? If I know I could do it, I'm very confident that I could do it. But if I know I can't do it, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna observe, and in my mind, I will say, what can I do to help them? What can I do for them? What can I help them? Whatever it is, you know, how can I hoop over that challenge for them? You know, if I may be allowed to even help them, you know, then that's what I would love to do. But I usually, in order to try to execute something like that, I just need to make sure I have it all ready to go. Yeah.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm rooting for you because that's a great thing.
I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
Well, just going back to your childhood a little bit.
Yes.
And just thinking about helping out with the family, what would be the most interesting way you help raise funds or help pay bills or help
my
put
family,
food on?
you mean?
Just you.
Okay,
Anything you've done to help put food on the table.
Yeah, well, I do everything. I'm a go-getter hustler since I was a kid. Ever since I was a child, talk about lemonade stand. Okay. Even when I got older, even was to do anything, I always love to be creative. Even when it comes to flower and florists, when I was growing up, I went to go get the batch of roses. Yeah, the one bundle of 12 roses. I'd stand and go try to sell 1 rose or 2 roses, and I'm okay with that. You know, it's just all about, you know, being creative, and that's how I was. And growing up, to provide for my family, I had to be that leader. So my mom would call me and say, hey, chop that onion and dice that garlic and do this, do that. So guess what? I'm a pretty darn good cook.
You got this, right?
Yeah, I am. I love to cook, and I enjoy cooking. And talk about food, exotic food, anything. I can eat anything. Okay. Well, I can't say everything, but I honestly can. I just love food, anything with food, and that's what I do. Okay. Yeah. Wow. And then when I got older, to even a teenager, my friends start throwing parties and stuff like that, and I would start making little things and stuff like that for my friends, you know. And now that I am older, I end up doing some flowers and, you know, events and weddings and stuff like that. But that's not my full-time job.
Not what I'm into.
My job is real estate. I enjoy doing all of this creative things for the people that I love. I love to cook for the people that I love. Right. I love to throw events and do things for the people I love. You know, when I have that time. That's the only thing is nowadays time is so limited, right?
I get it.
Yeah.
Get it. Is there anything you regret?
Anything I regret? I honestly can't remember, or I'm naive and I don't want to think about it, because I believe that we are all blessed with different challenges that we have to, you know, learn from. And just like I said to you earlier, it doesn't matter in our job, we have different waves. In our personal life, we have different waves. It's a matter of you choosing to follow that wave or not. If you keep fighting that wave and that current, you're not going to go anywhere, you know. So just follow the wave and do what you can do. You can, you know, grow from it, right? I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that recently. Again, we move a lot, and so some people seem that is unstable. But
Moving.
I'm like, but we're just riding the wave of life. Like we're riding it instead of fighting against it.
Believe me, people say, "Oh, I know why you move a lot because you're in real estate." No, I move every 2 years, or this is probably the longest time that I haven't moved, you know, but I usually move every 2 years because I believe in building your equity and your capital gains. You don't have to pay capital gains, what, in 2 years? Okay, after 2 years, okay, I'm moving again, you know, so I keep growing. You know, how are you going to grow if you don't, you know, just
shake it up a little bit.
So things without regret, I don't regret anything. I believe that, you know, you move forward in your life. You can't fix anything in the past, you know. If anybody in the past wants to move forward with you, you're taking them along. If they don't, then it's okay, respect them and just go, you know. And it's a lot easier said than done because I'm such a mushy, emotional, loving person. I say that, but when it comes to friends and spirit and friendship, I value relationship. When I say the word value relationship, I value. No amount of money can take that away, as I value relationships with anyone that has a relationship with me. So when that relationship is broken or whatnot, it's going to be hard to mend or whatever, but I move on, you know, respect them, move on, you know. So pretty much,
totally understand.
Yeah.
Is there any books or any sayings that you like?
My favorite guy is Jay Shetty, I think.
Okay, who's that? I haven't.
On Purpose. I think it's living life like a monk. I don't know. Have you read that?
I have not.
Yeah. I think that you should then.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, it's
What
just
about
balancing.
Okay.
It's just balancing. It's your mindset, it's your goal, it's your inner peace, it's meditating, it's looking within, not without, you know, not looking outwards to anything in life. Look in, you know. You can't fix someone else, you can't point your fingers at this, that, whatever it is. Look in, reflect. How do you want them to love you? Why don't you love them like that? How do you want them to like you? Well, why don't you like them like that? Well, how do you want to run your business? You know? Or, I mean, how do you want, or they're like, oh, this is how you run your business. No, how do you want to run your business? Right. You know? Do you want to be successful? Then you need to do it. Do you want to have grit and work hard for it? Then you give that time for yourself. You can't say, oh, I'm not getting business and people are not using me. What are you doing? So anytime that I run into any situation or any challenges in my life personally, I reflect and I say, Samantha, why? Why did that happen? Was there any part that you could have done to change it? Was there any neglect that you could change it? Because you know, we're not all not perfect. Every day we're so busy in our challenges in life that we tend to forget little things that can be super important to the other person. And we don't even acknowledge the other person. So before we pinpoint anything to anyone or a client or a buyer or seller, it's like, why did they leave the house like this? Or why did this happen? Or, you know, we have to, let's dig through it, figure it out. Why? What happened? And along the way, before we jump and assume, you know, assume is such a harsh word, I think, you know, so.
I say it a lot here, is just extending grace to people.
Yes, I agree.
I
agree. And I just say that be grateful and all the blessings that you have, and things will be meant for you, is going to be meant for you. You know, I as much as I would love or I want and I need and I this and I that, it's always I. It's like, really, Samantha? You know, I say these things. I'm like, you know, I am grateful. I'm lucky. Look, I'm lucky I got to come to America. I'm lucky. My parents did not be able to do so much for us, but look at all of their 5 kids. We are standing and we're walking and we're working hard and we finished school. We did everything that we did on our own because mom and dad could help, but How? You know, there's a limitation because you came from a different country. So I am blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed, and I have all my kids, you know. I always say, oh, well, I'm challenged. God, I'm a single mom. No, it's not challenging, you know. You have to be your own leader of your own life, right? So I'm grateful for all my kids, you know. And I have my dad that lives with me, and I always laugh. And I was like, man, this man is like, what, 75? And how old am I? He comes in the house, he's like, where have you been? It's so late. Who goes to work, or who wakes up and leaves? Because I leave at 6 o'clock to the gym. And who leaves at 6 o'clock and comes home at 8:30, 9 o'clock? I'm like, Dad, trust me, I don't want to go today like this, but I do. I have to. You know, you go to work, you go to work. But I mean, there's days like that, right? It's not like every day is going to be a 12-hour day. No such thing, right? But there's times when you have to put that hour in. As an agent, then you have to put that hour in. And you know, I hear it with my dad. Oh gosh, I'm like, funny. Dad, do you live with me or do I live with you? But I can't say that. I don't ever dare say that. I want my dad to feel like he's the man of the house because he's lived with me, and you know, he raised me as the best that he can. And you know, I owe it to my dad. I owe it to my dad to take care of my dad. People might think not so, but I do. You know, you only got one dad. That's it. You know, you got one dad, one mom. You know, I don't want to do anything, you know, that I would ever regret. Like, oh, Dad, you want to go to the nursing home? No, I can't do that. Well, who's going to take care of my plants? Who's going to water my garden? No,
I hear you.
I'm teasing.
Nope, I get
That's the stuff that he does to burn time living with me. That's all. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on. It was fun. I had a great time.
Thank you. I had a great time too.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Where can we find you at?
Where can you find me at? You can look me up at SamanthaAZRealtor.com or at www.houseside.com or my Instagram, hashtag SamanthaAZRealtor. That's it.
Awesome.
Or phone number 480-277-3684.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us today.